Wake Up Kenosha with Bill and Pete. AM 1050 WLIP.
653, Weightless MD and Wellness Southport Plaza in Kenosha, helping lots of folks get the weight off today. And joining us now, Cheri Stoka is here. Cheri, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Well, I'm good. We've been talking about food and soup and sandwiches all morning, so we need you now to kind of get us back on track here this morning. Now, if you have a question for Cheri, feel free to chime in, 694-1050. And, of course, tomorrow, we were talking about this earlier, Cheri, this segment has become such a raging hit with the masses now. You've expanded it to your own website, weightlessmd.com, every Thursday, a Q&A about weight loss.
Yes, absolutely. So you can submit a question in advance. People can submit a question in advance, or they can call in during that time frame, and I am answering all sorts of questions. So look forward to that for sure.
Tomorrow, 4 o'clock, right?
4 o'clock. You got it.
Put it on your calendar. Now, let's get to our questions this morning. Mr. Question Man, number one.
Well, we've been talking today a lot about things you put Parmesan cheese on. The most traditional one is spaghetti or pasta. And this person, our first, is kind of a unique question, says, I grew up eating pasta with at least one meal a day. This is something a lot of us can relate to. And they're asking you, Cheri, is there a good substitute for it, or I guess a healthier substitute for it?
Yeah, so they do have quite a few alternatives out there now. I think some of them, I'll just name a couple that are, I would say, probably more popular, but there's spaghetti squash would be a great alternative. They have the spiralized vegetables like zucchini, carrots, beets. Cauliflower is a great substitute. So cauliflower rice, a lot of people might be familiar with that. I mean, you can even Google, alternatives to pasta and find a lot of great alternatives.
You ever have the zoodles where you spiralize the zucchini? That's a great substitute for regular pasta. Try that one.
Yeah, exactly. Zoodles. And you can put the sauce on it, and it tastes great.
It does taste great. Number two, Mr. Question Man.
What are the best fat-burning foods, Cheri?
Here we go. Yeah, we need a little jump start.
Yeah, okay. So let's see. The top ones I would say are salmon, broccoli, avocado, and walnuts.
Ooh.
And grapefruit.
Grapefruit, really? Wow.
I could see the walnuts being really good with the avocado. You eat that combination.
Yeah.
Could I put all four of those items in a blender and make a fat-burning super drink out of it?
Yeah, absolutely. So, of course, the key here is what does the foundational diet look like, right? So you can eat those foods, every single day, but if the rest of the diet is really high in carbs and sugar and processed foods, it's probably not going to do much.
Right.
But
so all these things that say, well, I got my fat burning going on, now I can have an entire cheese pizza. No, it just doesn't work that way.
Yeah. You have to get the body to actually utilize, fat for energy rather than taking foods to do that. So, but they definitely can be helpful. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I mean, those are healthy foods. But,
you talk about the foundational diet, but you still have to balance things because I know avocados are highly caloric and, salmon is obviously a great food, but you do have to keep everything in balance as well.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And I think what's important to point out is that typically the higher fatty foods are what help you burn more fat, believe it or not. Fat is the only macronutrient that does not stimulate blood sugars or insulin. And when you can avoid that spike, you can get into a fat burning mode a lot easier. So it seems counterintuitive, right? But actually the fattier foods help you accomplish that.
All right, dive in there. Now, speaking of nutrients, number 3, Mr. Question Man.
What are the most nutrient-rich foods?
Probably the ones I just named.
How do you like that? We killed two birds with one stone.
Yeah, but really, I mean, if you think about it, walnuts, avocado, broccoli, salmon, berries, spinach, anything that has a deep, rich color. Anything that is colorful naturally, of course not, adding dyes to it, but anything that's naturally, really rich in color is super, super healthy for you in so many ways.
I would think green leafies are included in that group, your kale, that kind of stuff. Spinach.
Absolutely. Yep.
And those are relatively inexpensive foods, too, so you should really dive in on those. A lot of people have an opinion or one way or the other about kale, but you know what? I like it. It's good. I endorse kale. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
In this.
I agree. I have found a link to it as well.
Cheri Stoka, Wayless MD and Wellness. Check her out tomorrow. Big Q&A coming up. If you didn't get your question answered today, 4 o'clock on her website, waylessmd.com. The first visit to Wayless is free. Absolutely free, Cheri. How do I get signed up? How do I get going on here?
Oh, my gosh. There's so many ways. I mean, you can go to our website. You can give us a call at 262-226-2046.
It's as simple as that. It's that first big step. Get started now before those holiday cravings hit. Get a plan. Cheri Stoka, Wayless MD and Wellness. Catcher tomorrow on the web answering your weight loss questions. And back here next week. Cheri, thanks so much as always.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.